Hi, folks, and welcome on back to Petalburg Woods, the only podcast where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Let's talk some Pokemon. As always, this is the show where we discuss the world, people, and I dare say even culture of the world surrounding our lovely little Pokemon games. As always, I'm your lovely host, Droomish, and I'm joined today by a very special guest. Very special.
I'm so honored to be here. Hi, my name is Capreo. I'm one of the co-hosts on Petalburg Woods and have been for the last now 16 episodes. It's been a real treat. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And I'm so glad you're here. And today, this is kind of I don't know. I would honestly like posit it is a special episode. They're always special episodes, whatever. But
yeah.
This was posited on the most recent episode. Briefly, I was just kind of talking out of my ass near the end of the show. I'm calling Pokemon the Yggdrasil of, I guess, like decision-based RPGs. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
You with me? Okay.
A big tree with many branches.
Right. Pokemon is, I mean, RPGs generally are, but I think something, and you know, we're gonna appreciate it. You got a freaking hour and a half in front of you of the appreciation. Pokemon is so many decisions, and there are so many possible branching paths, and it's a tree. It's a beautiful, big, beautiful tree, just like the famous tree of folklore, the Yggdrasil.
Mm.
But first, my favorite bit. What are we playing and doing lately? I think I got to go first last time. Tell me what you're doing. Are we playing the new ZA? Whatever you used it.
I haven't started Mega Dimension yet, but it's on the to-do list. I'll probably play it soon. So maybe next time we do an episode, I'll have a little bit to say about it. But yeah. But I guess speaking of the Yggdrasil, I beat Dragon Quest III.
Wow.
And
great.
I was talking about it the last time that I talked about Dragon Quest, and that like it is really fun for me to see like where the original devs at Game Freak borrowed from Dragon Quest when they were making Red and Blue. And so this is admittedly, I think, well, I don't know, kind of depending on how you look at it, maybe spoilers for Dragon Quest 3. So maybe jump ahead a couple minutes, I guess.
Spoilers for Dragon Quest 3. Dragon Quest 3 players, please don't listen.
Yeah, I know Dragon Quest 3 has been out since the 80s, but regardless. Or maybe like the late night or early 90s. Anyway, whatever. Towards the end of Dragon Quest 3, you're in this like castle, and there you finally approach this like long hallway. And you can see the final boss like sitting in his throne at the end of this hallway. And there are a bunch of these like goblets along the hallway. And as you approach them, the goblets light on fire, and a boss steps in front of you in the way of you and this final boss at the end of this hallway. Again, you can see, you're aware that the final boss is there. And so this boss jumps in front of you, surprises you, and fights you. So you beat that boss. Okay. So then you walk a little bit further, and then another goblet lights up, and there's another boss.
Another goblet.
And I wonder if you can guess how many bosses there are before the final boss, Droomish. Take a wild guess.
I'm gonna go for all the marbles and say 4.
There are 4. Very good guess. There are 4.
An elite 4.
An elite 4 group of bosses,
if you will.
Yeah, they are. I would describe them as elite for sure.
They seem pretty elite.
The champion, or the final boss, pardon me, the final boss of the video game. And then after that, I beat that. After that, I come to discover there's this secret post-game cave full of the most devious, dastardly monsters in the land, all assembled in one place for me to fight in the post-game after beating the champion. I mean, final boss. There's this one last cerulean cave for me to explore.
Is it like actually blue? Is it like a literally cerulean cave?
It's not. But
damn,
like
that sucks.
As it was happening, I was like, dude, they being Satoshi Tajiri and friends and co at the time when they were making Red and Blue, dude, they loved Dragon Quest so much.
Yeah, I'm like,
anyway,
I mean, it's so cool. Like, I can tell how much, like, I don't know, this. It's really nice to just see you this happy about something like this. Like,
I just found it funny.
It's just nice.
And this is new to me, but I'm sure this is for folks who know, folks who've played both Dragon Quest and a Pokemon before, that this was
all
like
our 45-year-old viewers.
Yes, yeah, like Red and Blue wear their influences on their sleeve pretty heavily, and there's nothing wrong with that because the sincerest form of flattery is imitation. Is that the phrase? Is that the saying? Anyway,
imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Thank you. I just did it backwards.
I know words really well.
You know words. Anyway, yeah. So I guess am in the post game of Dragon Quest 3, which I didn't even know was a thing going in. But it is hard, and I need to grind against some liquid metal slimes. So that's where I'm at with Dragon Quest. But I did pick up the 1 and 2 HD 2D remake that came out earlier this year. And so once I'm satisfied with 3, then I'll move on and play those and continue my quest, my Dragon Quest.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that.
So you haven't, not much Pokemon lately is what I'm hearing.
I've been playing Blue Rescue Team.
Oh,
on stream.
That's fun.
That's been fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I did the personality quiz and it gave me Psyduck, and I chose Torchic as my partner, and I picked up a Farfetch'd, and so we're Team Flock, just a couple of birds hanging out.
I remember Psyduck is so bad in this game. Like,
I disagree. Disable is broken. Disable goes crazy.
I'm just thinking about the whole Scratch debacle and how I lied to you so successfully, but
yeah, 22 levels in or whatever, Psyduck still does not have a water type move, but
it's pretty bad.
Whatever. Disable is broken, so I don't care.
Yeah, moves in that game, they're just contextualized so fascinatingly. Like, like Protect is maybe. I'm gonna posit Protect is the best Pokemon move just ever. Like, I don't know. Is that fair?
Like, it's across the board.
Across the board, I think it's in the running at least for best move. Just period.
Even in ZA, it's very useful.
In Rescue Team, I would say that it's maybe one of the worst moves. To just the way that they contextualized it.
Okay, I see. I don't know how it works in Rescue Team. So, I think it's just kind of a shield that does not even block like entirely. Okay. Like. The way that the move Endure works in Mystery Dungeon is that the Pokemon uses it and then it just can't be knocked out for like several turns as long as like the Endure effect.
It's busted.
So I figured that maybe Protect was similar, where like if you used it, it lasted for like a number of turns.
Well, it does, but it's just a shield.
Okay. I haven't encountered it yet in my playthrough of Blue Rescue Team.
I don't know. Maybe I was just totally wrong about this. You can still be damaged, though. The user can still be damaged by items or explosions, and just like I don't know. That kind of sucks. Maybe it's not the worst move in the game, obviously. Like,
but it doesn't protect as much as you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't protect, and
that's like the name on the tin.
Yeah, it says protect, and I can like eat like I don't know, like a chili pepper and breathe fire on you and you still die. So yeah, I love those games. Just the system was contextualized in such an interesting way.
I've been learning more about the technical mechanics of the game too. Spadonic, who listens to the show, has been in my chat, and
friend of the stream,
friend of the show,
channel, on the show.
Yeah,
Spadonic, we love you.
Shout out Spadonic. So Spadonic has been kind of teaching me some stuff to play Mystery Dungeon better, which has been very nice and helpful. So thank you, Spadonic.
Thanks, Girly Pop. We love you.
What have you been doing lately?
Well, I was having, all right, not to get crazy real here, but I was having a very bad day the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the extent of it. It was a very bad, no good day, as they call them. But I remembered, like, I don't know, one of the, I don't know, like, I don't know. I would call it a blessing. I would fully call it a blessing. I remember one of my earthen blessings, and I had, I told my lovely partner, "Will you please bring me my Switch so I can play ZA before I get out of bed?" And I played Pokemon in bed for like 2 hours, and for, let's say, like maybe 12 hours, I was cured. I was fixed, and that was like, this is just like I don't know, relate to me on this, viewer, relator, please. Like, I don't think there's anything better than playing handheld game before you get out of bed. It was my just greatest wish when I was growing up, especially when New Leaf was my newest game. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Sun's rising. It's not too late. It's not too early. It's maybe like 9 a.m. It's a Saturday. I'm a little sleepy. I'm up, but I'm not out of bed. New Leaf is better than, I don't know, it's I don't know. It's like, what's better than this? What's better than this? I'm God, Capreo, what's better than this? So I did that, and that was the first time I had moved in ZA in a while, and I was just like, God, Pokemon is so good. What a special, I love Pokemon. Like, it was just reinvigorating for everything. It made me so happy to play ZA. I really like, I'm gonna say it again, and I know that they hated her because she was right. I really like Canary's grandpa, which is what a great guy he is. Like, he's really got that special something. And then, okay, I didn't even tell you this. I didn't even mention this to you offhand. Little off cut here. I was gonna go play VGC like I usually do, but the gang decided they were gonna meet online that day, and I was pretty bummed because I was again sad. LOL, and wanted to go do something in person. But the same thing that happens at VGC is, and I've never been able to go to, is that's when the card store plays the TCG. And I have the nefarious Dragapult deck that everybody hates, but has remained relevant. It's a very like, if you can't beat them, join them situation right now in the TCG. It seems like, for a number of decks, but I went and played that, and I just had a blast. Really, it's the card game is very fun right now. I'm trying to play. I want to play Megalopunny, and it's very maybe a bit stereotypical of me, but the card looks really fun, and I just think that the card game is so fun. I want to play it more. It was a really good time. I went 2-2, by the way. I ripped a game. Oh man, in the two games, both of the games I lost, they were one prize. It was.
Neck and neck.
Yeah, it was a neck and neck situation. I really love the card game. It is so good. Yeah, I mean, God, crazy. I just love this little Pokemon game. It's so.
How about that?
That's what I like. I don't know how it's possible. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, and I know I'm like, oh my God, giant Pokemon adult baby over here, but like, y'all, it's freaking fun. That just, I don't know how to just I don't know. I go in sort of like, wow, that was really joyful every time, in new ways. I don't know. Life is beautiful. That's what I've been doing.
Nice.
I'm happy. Well, yeah, I'm a happy camper. Haha. Hee haha. We love having fun and smiling and bouncing and playing and having fun.
Nice. Okay. I'm glad you're back to playing ZA because I know that you felt like you kind of missed out on it a little bit. But
Well, honestly, I don't. I think the media cycle kind of messed me up on it. I'm kind of glad that I did. Like I enjoyed it a little bit, but like, I really, this is like, I don't know. I don't want to say something like, this isn't supposed to be like, I don't know, crazy or anything. And this is not like a super loaded judgment, but just like, I like the game came out, and like as a creator, I felt a lot of pressure to make something of it, and like because like all these people I know are making something of it, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of media cycle slop was happening. Really, there is like there's some really good commentary and experimentation and stuff happening with the game, but it was just, I was just inundated with stuff that I felt like, I don't know, wasn't, I don't know, whimsical isn't the exact right word, but it's like we got to hit the media cycle, like the media cycle motion, if that makes sense to y'all. And I haven't posted a video in a while. This certainly didn't help. I was just like, what do I like? I want to be real. Like, this game makes me feel real things, and it's a good game, and I like streaming it. I don't want that to be nothing when I actually do it. And it kind of, I don't know, it killed my buzz a little bit on it, I will say. And I think, I don't know, unless I get like that miracle idea, I kind of assume this is going to happen every time a Pokemon game comes out, and I should just try to enjoy it, really, with me and all my friends playing with our toys, saying hi and having fun. Like, isn't this the life?
Yeah. I think it's easy to get wrapped up in the thing because it's new, but the game isn't going anywhere. And you especially like to take your time with stuff and, you know, take in the sights. And from what you've told me so far about like what you've liked about ZA, it's just nice that you're like not rushing the experience just for the sake of like making a video on it or whatever.
Yeah, I don't, and there's like not trying. This is like not trying to be negative or rude to anyone. Like, I just, I don't know. I got up in my head about it, and it just kind of made me sad. And now I'm like kind of slightly bummed that like, I don't know. I feel like it's like I already got a bunch of ZA DLC bullshit in my inbox, and
right.
It's just so much so fast, and
that's the thing. It's constant. Like, the game just came out, and now there's even more stuff like about it and things to see for the first time that like you don't get to choose really when you get to see those things for the first time anymore, because they're just thrust upon you constantly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's exhausting.
And especially from, I don't know, the like this might be like a surprise to everyone, but like I really like analyzing media. Just a small thing about me. I really like writing and feeling about the art that brings me joy. And I have not had time to do that because it has only been like, I don't know, a month since this game came out. And it's like, oh my God, you're such like a, like, oh, like go live in the damn woods like Thoreau did or whatever. And I constantly reference, but it's like it's a giant piece of art, y'all. Like I might need some time. You might need some time before we look at the window and say this game sucks. Also, I caught a shiny. Here's my thing about it. Also, just I mentioned it enough on this show where I think that Thoreau was like he was like he did it for the clout. He went out into the woods. And it's like, oh, he's like living out in the woods for like he's being isolated. But then he wrote a book about it. Like that is you're content pilled. Like that's the I don't know, the whenever that was like 1900s version of being like content pilled. Like oh, big deal. You went out and lived in the woods by yourself for a while. Like everybody has to know.
I went out and lived in the woods all by myself, so you don't have to.
Yeah, and then he made the
story time.
He made the video about it, and like I don't know. I just like I had that thought the other day, and it made a lot of stuff click for me about like what it means to do something for attention. Because oh my God, are you attention starved if you go live in the woods for a month so you can write a book about it?
Right.
Anyways, just a follow through on a long standing bit that I've had on the show. we're talking about Yggdrasil, the world tree of Pokemon today. I did want to. Do you know anything about the actual Yggdrasil? Could I tell you about it a little bit?
No, my prior knowledge was just that like generally it is considered like the world tree, right? And then Yggdrasil is
the
also
world tree.
It is named in the Dragon Quest series as basically the world tree also in those games. But no, otherwise I don't really know anything about it.
I mean, there's a bunch of. I think that's essentially good enough. I mean, it's kind of just a big tree. Like it's holy, and it's. I guess I should also say that it's Norse, and that's why it has that name.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering like kind of where it comes from.
It is in Norse mythology, and when I say it's big, it's like I mean they call it the world tree for a reason. Like I believe in some tellings of Yggdrasil and like stories that feature Yggdrasil. There is like a world up there. Famously, where I know it from in Sword Art Online, also some famous media. There is a literal world up there that you can go up and hang out in. But yeah, it's kind of just a big tree. I was kind of just, I don't know, flexing my big word knowledge when I said that last time. But it's a really, really, really big tree. And like all really, really big trees go, there's a lot of branches in there. So I really gotta sing the praises of Capreo on this one, folks. Like he's a freaking godlike podcast producer because he organized this episode for us into like the structure of a tree instead of just like, I don't know, usually it's like, I feel sort of bad when we just go chronological. I know that it makes the most sense, but I always want to like, I don't know, can we like turn it into like a paper swan or something? And you've really done that this time. So anyway, just the premise again, Pokemon, I mean, just from the, before you even touch the game, I would say, is filled with all these branching paths. And why this is important and not just like, I don't know, like minutia bullshit that I do not like as much as the stuff that we do because we're so awesome and artistic. Like everyone has their own Pokemon. Do you get what I mean when I say like the experience of Pokemon? And it's like even if you and I did, even if we did everything identically, I would say that everyone has their own Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do everything identically, make all the same decisions, and even up until the very end, our playthroughs could be one and the same. And then Cynthia crits me and I lose, and Cynthia does not crit you and you go through and you enter the Hall of Fame. Like something as simple as that. But that's assuming the entire rest of the game, everything else was identical. And obviously that's the chances of that happening are
virtually non-existent.
Yeah. I think one of the best examples of this is like a speed run of any Pokemon game. Like those are so like meticulous and like purposeful. Every decision is for the sake of trying to beat the game as fast as possible. And so it's played so efficiently that there isn't a ton of difference in choice, but things still occur and the runner needs to like adapt on the fly. And so even speedruns, like as often as it is just like doing the same inputs and making the same decisions over and over and over again to try to get a faster speed, like each of those runs is going to have like micro decisions that are different that can completely sway the outcome of that run, or even things that can happen that are just outside of the player's outside of the player's hands, like a crit or a bad damage roll or whatever. And so all of that shapes your individual playthrough of any given Pokemon game. But I think for the sake of today and the many branching paths, we're going to be talking about largely things that you have control over and like decisions that you can make.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is like, honestly, I hadn't considered that. Like I was like, I don't God, it's like a lot of that is very much minutia, what you were just talking about, but it's still like storytelling. Like the getting crit versus not getting crit story is just, and then, I mean, like, I don't know, there's expectations get made constantly in these games that, at least, I mean, they exist in other games, but like I just feel like do not happen at the same frequency as they do in Pokemon. Like I think something that is, I guess, like in and out of what you just said is when I was extremely little. Well, not extremely. I do this to this day, actually. When I was really little, when I was 26, by like I think especially when the odds for this were worse in the old games. Like if one of my Pokemon is confused, I have an emotional experience yelling at the Pokemon, trying to get them not to hit themselves. And the ones who love me more will not hit themselves. And the ones who are bumbling buffoons will hit themselves constantly, and they are not my friends anymore. And this is mostly a bit, but like
mostly
this is because it informs me. Like I'm like, Marshtomp, you are my best friend. You like you and I, we made it through. You did not hit yourself. You hit the mud shot on Torkoal. We got that badge from Flannery. You did it. You did it, buddy. Sunkern, I cannot say the same for your pathetic performance during that battle.
Damn.
And
poor
it is
Sunkern.
Greatly affected my opinion of you. So stuff like that is like that's totally out of my hands, and I have a different Pokemon because of that.
Right. Like your really, Pokemon at that point develops almost a personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I'm a little, it's like maybe off the edge a little bit. But like I mentioned Marshtomp specifically because Marshtomp's my guy because of like, I don't know, Marshtomp's not my favorite or anything, but I can very, very clearly remember Marshtomp not letting me down, and like I'm like that with Marshtomp.
Like when you see Marshtomp, you're like, my old friend, my reliable old friend.
Old reliable Marshtomp. Thank God. Like and I guess I say that because it is all minutia, and I don't know, like the breakdown of like how confusion works and like what that means for play is like, oh my God, that is so in the weeds. But like I would say I just created a small universe off of something so dumb, and that wasn't even a choice. So just to illustrate maybe the breadth of identities, or maybe I don't know, worlds or realities even of like I have a different Marshtomp than you do because of that, and neither of us even chose about it.
It just happened.
Yeah, exactly. But moving into, like you said, the things that we can, and here's the tree analogy. I know I really hyped up the tree analogy and then kind of like teased you with it, but the tree's really good. Okay, any good tree, it starts with the seeds, and the seeds, Capreo would say in this case, choosing a version before you've even opened the game. We got to choose a version
because I think that dictates a lot of what your experience is going to be like based on what is available to you, like the actual Pokemon that you can encounter. In some cases, version differences like fully affect the story of a game, the characters who appear. So yeah, they can completely alter, like you might be experiencing a game in the Alola region, but depending on the version you choose, it could be wildly different. So it all starts from the seed.
I think that this is one of the biggest because it was, especially when I was little, this like affected my damn social standing. When we're not in the game yet, and I have alluded to this before, but I was freaking picked on for picking Pearl instead of Diamond.
Yeah, me too.
Hello.
I have like a vivid memory of being on the bus and all of my friends saying that they were going to buy Diamond, and I piped up and said, I'm going to get Pearl, and they were like, Pearl is pink, Pearl is for girls, and I was like, I think Palkia looks sick though.
I also think I love Palkia. I love Palkia, and I love that Palkia is a horse now. Everyone look at Palkia, it's a horse. And Palkia, horse
Palkia.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, did you have like a similar experience? Like based on the same things, just the colors of the boxes? I
mean, okay, I guess it got a little more intricate than that. I got in a huge fight with Noah, actually.
Excellent.
Of who would win in a fight, Palkia or Dialga.
We got a Noah story, folks.
And some other people got involved in this fight, but I was like, and I don't know, maybe he had a point, but I was like, that's a steel type. This is a water type. Steel is less effective against water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Case in point, Palkia is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Dialga is for babies. Roar of Time is a 2-turn move, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Spatial Rend is... They can't go wrong with Spatial Rend. A signature move that is over 100 base power with boosted crit. I wasn't putting it this way, but I could, as a what is this, as a 9-year-old, put together that Roar of Time required a recharge turn, and that made Dialga very bad if you were gonna like use it's like this is the Dialga move, and the Dialga move sucks actually. Check out Spatial Rend, folks. But he insisted that Dialga was better because of I don't even know, like I mean this was very much like in your head anime battle type stuff of like no Goku would beat SpongeBob like shit like that for this reason that I just made up, and I'm like, okay, well
I wasn't prepared for that
point.
particular analogy, sorry.
I mean, it was like that. That was absolutely the vibe of Dialga is gonna beat Palkia because it's like it's got these giant it's gonna ram its giant spiked head into Palkia, and Palkia can't do anything about it. I'm like, oh shit, it's like made of metal and stuff. So yeah, it affected my social standing is the point of this. I was viewed less favorably. I think Noah got Pearl in the end though. I specifically remember talking to Noah about Pearl, and I don't know, maybe he was just he was frequently fraudulent. But this was not like it was hotly contested, like you said, but it's always a thing, even now, just which version are you gonna get? Like that's it's such an easy question to ask. Even with Scarlet and Violet, I had discussions about it of which one you think was cooler, and that actually was such a huge version difference in the end, like one that I could not have predicted up until the game was actually out, that like depending on which one I got, I was gonna get either like I fully think I picked the wrong version in the end. I like Miraidon more than I like Koraidon, and now I have all the robot Pokemon and the dinosaur Pokemon, and I'm sad about that. So
yeah, I think that the thing about choosing a version is like if you have like an end goal in mind, if you have like a particular kind of tree that you want to grow, then you can be more informed, I guess, about like the seed that you're going to choose to plant, and that being the version that you're going to choose. Or you can just like pick up a seed and plant it, and whatever happens. Like it can be either, where like you can have a designer tree where you plan out every aspect of it, so by the time the tree is fully grown and all of the leaves are in their place, you have everything planned. And you it's like a very like particularly like trimmed like bonsai tree that you've like cultivated.
We're really powering up with this analogy. It's really going places.
Versus just like, I don't know, man, I want a tree in my yard and I have this seed and it'll be what it is when it grows eventually.
There's levels to what you're describing, because like I don't know, I wanted Miraidon, and I could not control what happened next, or I did not like think to beyond that. So
maybe you wanted a flowering tree, but then it doesn't flower very often, or it only flowers for like a week of the year or something.
It didn't flower exactly right.
But
I think
when it flowers, it's a great tree.
I like it pretty well in the end, I think. I guess I was sleeping on this choice slightly. I mean, I do think it's really fascinating that I mean, because it's like in the same vein as like, I don't know, you have these like arguments about like starters and stuff, but even buying the game is you've bought the game and you own it and you haven't even started yet, and you're still like, you have crafted the experience in some way just because of how Pokemon works. I now have Leaf Green version instead of Fire Red, and I'm already having different experiences in some way, shape, or form. And the game has not started yet, which I think is, while I feel like we're being maybe really, really glass half full about that, but like I'm only buying one, and I just picked one up. Like I'm still like I'm there's like a mirror universe where something different is happening because I got the red one instead, and that's not even necessarily a good thing. Like that's not like good. I'm not saying that's good on its face. It's just, hey, that's worth paying attention to. That this game can create that effect.
Yeah, there can be many differences. Do you ever, going into playing a Pokemon game, whether it's brand new or a game that you've played a billion times before, do you ever consider which version you want to play going into it for one reason or another?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Usually I just try to play the one that I didn't play last time.
Mm-hmm.
I might play these games.
But the reason I think you make that choice is to have a slightly different experience from the one that you just had, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, like I look at it on paper and it's like, oh, that's not even that big of a deal. But expectations, I would say, are significantly different. And I think one that comes to mind kind of automatically, and I'm doing right now, I don't hate me for this, chat, but I am doing starter resets because I want a shiny. I've never gotten a shiny starter before, and I want a shiny starter in Heart Gold. And growing up, I was Soul Silver. I was always Soul Silver, but I thought, and this is so like fringe of me, I guess. I'm not like other girls, I suppose, but I was thinking about this specifically and how often I'm going to be on the start screen because I'm resetting for a starter. So I picked the other one because I don't look at it hardly ever. I always see like the Lugia that's like swimming in the water, and I was like, that animation, like the 3D model Lugia swimming, I would say is burned into my memory. That I played Soul Silver for hundreds of hours, and I don't know what if I look at the Ho-Oh in the clouds? This is and so just something so dumb as that. Like, but it was like I was thinking about this. I was like, I'm going to be doing a lot of I'm going to be looking at that start screen a lot. So I'm going to look at Ho-Oh this time, and that's the most important part of this to me. I think also I'm probably going to catch a Skarmory in this game. Just future Droomish activity going on.
Cool.
But yeah, there's plenty of reasons too, and that was like, I had that thought almost like, I don't know if automatically is the right word, but it was like something I was like, I guess just so certain about. And I only like process it afterwards that like I was like, whoa, that is a really just intricate set of things that I decided was important. That's like, I guess very extra in some ways I'm just like, oh, it just makes sense. I looked at Soul Silver so much, so I'm gonna look at Heart Gold. I know this is almost I almost, I don't know, feel dumb kind of telling the story. It's so nothing, but
I completely get your reasoning, and it just boils down to, again, the same thing that I said earlier of like, you experienced one thing already, and there is another game that exists in this that is like set in the same place, but like is different enough that it can still feel like novel to an extent. And so that's, to me, that's what you're doing. It's just like keeping the thing that is familiar novel still. So I get that.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it also. I love playing Heart Gold on my Nintendo DSi XL. Just by the way, do you think, I don't know, is there anything else here with this? I mean, as it usually goes, we probably have to play the game eventually. Don't tell me to play the game eventually, though. I'm going to get the shiny starter. I don't, nothing makes me angrier than someone like policing a shiny hunt because it's like, oh, you're gonna have to play the Poké. Shut up! I like, do you know what I'm talking about when they're like, oh, they're gonna have to play the game. How sad is that? It's like, okay, that is also that is like actually completely in the vein of what we're talking about right now. Like, I guess okay. So moving on, and this is 100% in the roots. The seed has been planted. We're in the roots. We are in the, I don't know, what's like a word for this that I like what you've written here. Style, maybe? Yeah,
style is a great word. Or like approach, maybe?
Approach. I like approach. I mean, this is like and it can be, I know it can be nothing or everything, but just there are so many approaches so I guess this is like right at the beginning of gameplay, but it's really up until the end of gameplay also, like, and the roots are always going to be there. You might choose a theme for your team, or like, I don't know, it could be as simple as like gym leader, whatever. Like this is my water type team, or I don't know. It's like my favorites or something, and it's a bunch of weirdos. Maybe it's nothing at all. You just catch whatever, or something else. Like I think, and why I jump is like something like nuzlocking or something like shiny hunting. Even like I need my team to all be shinies, and because of that, this game is going to take forever, or it's going to be really high stakes and be a nuzlock game or something. And I mean, this I think there are so many microcosms in this, even if you are just playing, that I kind of think, I don't know, maybe it's like poetic in a way because these are the roots as we're calling them. But like this to me is the biggest part of like this is why my Pokemon is vastly different from your Pokemon listener, because I would say favorites are lumped in here. Just any personal preference is lumped in here, and then those decisions like inform their own decisions. It's crazy. It's like I don't know, like this is like I kind of I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to get too sensational, but like Pokemon, low key, a kind of miracle game in some ways of like I don't know. I exist worlds apart from everyone else who has played this game, and they all exist worlds apart from everyone else. I really have my own game every time, and it is just for me. I have my own game. It is so cool.
Yeah, I think foundationally, it sets the tone for everything that your playthrough is like going to be, and it's a lot of kind of what makes me excited or like motivates me to do replays of Pokemon games is like coming up with an approach for it. And again, whether I've really appreciated in recent years doing monotype teams or like gym leader teams. I've had a lot of fun with that. And then I did my own shiny starter hunt for Charmander in Leaf Green, and it made that playthrough of Leaf Green, and even then beyond that, just the shiny starter start of that playthrough, I also, the team for that playthrough was a mono flying team. And so you can make it multifaceted. You can impose some rules on yourself that like, you could go all the way and like do the Nuzlocke thing or the ultra hardcore Nuzlocke, whatever. But you can even, and this is again getting into difficulty a little bit, but you can choose some like less extreme self-imposed rules of like not using items during battles, or not, maybe even like when you enter a dungeon, not like you're not allowed to leave, like you're not allowed to turn back, you know what I mean? Like Rock Tunnel in Kanto becomes a lot scarier when you don't let yourself go back to the Pokemon Center, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
just like can shape your experience, and also like turn these games that, again, if you're already quite familiar with them, make them feel more novel, and in whatever way that is, whether that's having a shiny Pokemon where like you've dreamed of someday, maybe if you get lucky, finding a shiny, but instead, no, you're taking matters into your own hands and deciding, I'm not going to begin the story of this video game until my Totodile is teal. Or whatever. It's
going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
I had that experience, and I also had people like, certainly after I got the shiny Charmander and then I shared it, there's some folks who don't appreciate shiny hunting at all, who just are like, that's a waste of time, or if you wanted one, why didn't you just gen it or whatever? It's like, well, that's not the point. But we're also getting into why people shiny hunt, which is, I think, also another episode.
It's like throwing themselves under the bus, really, because it's like, all right, why are you playing a video game? Like, go be a damn accountant or something.
Exactly. It's like they're telling on themselves.
Yeah, like, you enjoy game? How embarrassing. You played Button Simulator for however many hours? Oh my god, what a loser. Go back to the coal mines, person who enjoys Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but doesn't want the shiny hunt in it because that's not to their taste. Something I not consider that you mentioned that I really like is like there's like even a further matrixing with like, because I'm always thinking about this, like, I don't know, just the Pokemon of it. But you said that thing about Rock Tunnel, and so you can further matrix it with like I don't know, actual like literal style of play. And obviously that is like every game of like, and famously, I mean, people love this where it's like no jumping in Mario 64 or whatever, but like, I don't know. And this kind of seems like pointless tedium to me, but I don't know. Maybe there's someone who does it is like, I'm not going to use fly this game for whatever reason. Like I just want to walk, and that is a further matrixing of choices. But I kind of think it's like, I don't know, like it's this weird blend that can occur, and maybe something like nuzlocking is already a blend of that two things. So you're like maybe, I don't know, maybe it is kind of like, I don't know, almost putting that on a pedestal of like matrixing mechanical gameplay choices with the essence of Pokemon itself, because it like so informs the character interactions that you have, but also this like huge interaction with the world and the way that the mechanics work. But
well, something I do that I find makes me feel like, I don't know, closer to the team of 6 that I like eventually end up choosing is I try not to have like an HM friend on the team, or like one that I like put in the box or whatever.
You have to say HM friend these days. Everything's PC. Can't say starter Pokemon anymore.
Gotta be first partner. No, I say starter. I'll never cross that bridge. But I try to just like have the 6 Pokemon on my team have the necessary HMs, because that's my team. That's who I'm relying on, not this like, to me, like kind of get out of jail free card. That
this creature.
Sure,
this creature, like, point and laugh.
This unfortunately fated creature that I don't really like have an attachment to at all. It's more out of the way for me to go get them to go cut down a tree than it is for me to sacrifice a move slot on Charmander, I guess. I don't know, for Charmander to just have cut. Part of it is like, I think comes down to like laziness and convenience, honestly, of having all of the HMs just be on my like main party of 6. But there is the slight drawback, and this leads to the game getting slightly more difficult, I guess, where your main party of 6 has fewer options than maybe they otherwise would. Anyway, I'm getting on the episode where we talk about branches. I'm branching off.
Lots of branches. Yeah.
Lots of branches. I'm branching off on the branching episode. Anyway.
I just don't. Here's a just crazy curveball where I just don't think it's very like anime of you to have an HM user. Like, like, you ever see Steven get out Zigzagoon? No, he obviously is flying on Skarmory. Like, obviously.
Right. Aggron knows strength.
Yeah, I always think of the
Armaldo knows cut.
And this is very much in the I maybe this is like an aside, I'd almost an intermission in a way of, I would like to at least note attached media informing the experience. Because I have this idea, and why I have never leaned into having a Zigzagoon, for instance, is like, that was, and like, I essentially imagined it because you don't see the character in game, you just see the sprite, and then I think Steven has a Skarmory. Like, that's something particular where it's like, my imagination told me, oh, Steven has a flyer, and it has to be on his team for, I don't know, some child reason that I've imagined. It has to be Skarmory. That is like, okay, Steven is a cool guy who has Skarmory, and they don't have, like, on the anime, also, like, that's why I said it's not very anime of you, like, if, not that Ash is ever doing that, but like, if they're flying, then it's like they're special guys. Like, they don't ever get out like the Pidgey of agony and servitude to fly somewhere. Like, I don't know, like Winona or Skyla is doing it like on the back of Altaria, and it's like their goat, and like, look at me, this is my freaking goat over here. So
yeah,
that always informed me. And why I'm bringing it up is like this stuff, these I don't know, like okay, for your analogy, I'm calling this like, I don't know, like water, fertilizer, like soil, like these are these are your accessories. to the tree. But I think it's a really big deal of, especially, and that's like one of the big ones. I watch the anime and I have all these preconceived notions about it. You did not. You have all these other preconceived notions about it.
Sure.
And for me, I mean, it was so informing was the manga. And I don't know. I don't know if it would be too self-serving to have an episode just about the manga. I know I talk about it all the time, but it wildly informed my decision making in the game. And that's another thing that's like, I don't know. I mean, this is going to be any media that has like attached pieces of media, I think. I don't know if something gets a show, if something gets a different game, if something gets anything, really. It could also just be like your friends talking about it at school. Like all of my friends thought that, trying to remember, all my friends thought Murkrow was really cool. I remember a specific period in time when all my friends thought Murkrow was a badass for some reason. I think this is when Honchkrow showed up and everybody wanted Murkrow. And can't lie, made Honchkrow pretty badass. And but it was specifically because I just had people talking about it. And this is also not unique to Pokemon, but I mean, like, everything coalesces on itself. And when there are like a million choices being like exponentially chosen by another million choices, it just keeps going and going and going and going. And Pokemon's size it just continues to stun me. And then, but these things are like, I don't know, they are also Pokemon. I've made so many decisions, and I don't know, maybe you have something like this specifically because of the manga. I would often try to adopt a nicknaming scheme based on the way that they would do stuff in the manga, and I would try to, they had these little blurbs at the end of volumes that would show you their party levels, and I always thought they were balanced in like a really cute way of that were like, they were reflective of an adventure, and that like sometimes the ace, like Red's Pikachu was not, or Red's Venusaur was not the highest level because it like, just because of what had happened. I was like, ooh, that's really interesting. That's making me rub my hands together and stuff. And I don't know, it's like kind of folding in on itself in an odd way. Do you I don't know, do you ever like, and I guess in my not defense, I'm like, I don't want to say unwell, but maybe have a unhealthy relationship with this media franchise. And I don't know, I was like role playing being a trainer and stuff. Like I had like a whole, especially when I was like, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12, like I had an OC. I had an OC trainer and she had a team. Actually, I had several OCs and they all had teams. I would just like pretend to be them and play as them and stuff. And I had let's call it a fulfilling childhood in some ways. Did you have anything, continue to have anything, do anything like that?
Yeah, I think this kind of goes back actually to the episode that we did about Pokemon and move combos that are kind of like a match made in heaven, where like, I think the show has informed a lot of those connections for me. And so if I'm using a Pokemon that like it in the show, like, we talked about Pikachu with Volt Tackle. We talked about Sceptile with Leaf Blade. Like, yeah, in the games, those are pretty iconic, but like particularly in the show also, I don't know, that is like burned into my brain. So then if I'm using one of those Pokemon and if I have the option, 100% that Pokemon is going to know that move. So that's that's going to inform that choice, and that's going to like inform the way that I role play, I guess. And then I guess, I don't know, I do think about like, with if the team itself has a theme of some kind, again, if it's a monotype team, that will, like, if I have a Ludicolo on a water type team, well, I have 5 other water types that are using water type moves. So maybe this Ludicolo is going to have some more grass type moves than if I was using a Ludicolo on like a more balanced team, then I would want to have a mix of both. So I think I come at this maybe a bit more matter of factly.
Okay, I'm the crazy one then.
No.
Yay, thank you.
No. I think you're more imaginative, and I am maybe I'm more, I think, mechanic pilled for sure.
Okay, I'll call you about my vehicle soon then. I had and continue to have a very active imagination. There's
And I think that's lovely. But
I think it is too.
I still actually, I found this the other day. I have a leaf green save
Mm-hmm.
that is named, it just didn't get deleted somehow. I think because it got put in a box and I found it
Mhm.
recently. That is named, the trainer is named Orange. And Orange was my main manga OC because they're all
Mhm.
named after the colors, at least at the
Mhm.
beginning. And I was like, oh, when are they going to make Orange version? And I'll be
Mhm.
Orange. I think Orange, I don't know, Orange was kind of just a ripoff of Gold, if I'm being honest. But then I made Pink, and she was very unique.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Pink had I think a Doduo was my idea for her.
Nice. After Yellow?
No, not like Yellow.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad.
Pink
Sorry.
Very, very.
Pink is
I
very
was-
different from Yellow.
I was trying. Yeah, she's not like other girls. Very, very much not. I think this is the full extent of it. I just wanted to give it a shout, really, because this is like anything. Like there's any game like this. I mean, like I don't know, like Bionicle is like this. So, or just I don't know. That was the first thing on my head. I don't know the or like SpongeBob versus Goku is like this because I've got the shows to like inform my role playing with my friends. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, it's
SpongeBob
interesting.
clears easy, by the way.
I do think so. Like I do really think so. But
Like,
we don't.
It's not close.
Yeah, we don't have another hour. But it's I do think SpongeBob clears.
Mhm.
This isn't the most groundbreaking thing in the world. It's just like I don't know. It's cool to have on top that media that gets media, I guess.
Mhm.
Especially when it all feels good. Especially I don't know, like the early. No, even now, the Pokemon anime has always felt good, and the Pokemon manga has always felt good. I think they are both. The manga has always been loved, and I think from like Gen 6 onwards, like they really started loving the anime. And yeah, you know how I feel about that.
Mhm.
Okay, but that was just my shout to something that I thought was really cool, that I know you thought was really cool, dear viewer, and you're really excited that I talked about for a while. So the roots on our tree have grown. We have decided on our styles of play. And now the tree begins growing and we have the trunk. I like that you gave this its own. So in my notes today, folks, Capreo is calling the trunk. I mean, is it just the starter? Like, is it just, you think starters are like an entire piece?
Yeah.
'Cause
100%. I
agree with you also.
I think it informs the rest of your playthrough, the rest of your team. The starter is yeah.
Take it away, please.
It's the most
like
it's the most important choice in the game is your starter, because it completely shapes the rest of your playthrough. It shapes
everything.
Yeah, it shapes the rest of the guys that you decide to take along with you. It shapes the fights that you're going to have through the rest of the game. It shapes all of it. I think we've talked about, or maybe we haven't, I don't remember, the kind of like implied difficulty of choosing Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle in Kanto, right?
It's been alluded to.
Yeah. We've maybe mentioned it offhand once or twice in previous episodes.
Just because of type advantages, and especially in this gen, the order of the gyms, like especially for like the first three, people like to think that there is a difficulty curve between the three starters because of how your type matches up into the gym leader that you're going against. The first gym leader is rock, grass and water are going to have a nice time, fire is going to have a difficult time. That is the basics of this concept.
But even before going against Brock with your starter, you have to get through Viridian Forest. And Viridian Forest is full of bugs. And if you choose a Bulbasaur, I would put money on you probably catching something that helps you deal with bugs a little easier. And so I just feel like I'm thinking about like basically like the percent chance of a person being likely to have a Pokemon on their team based on the starter that they choose. And so I feel like a person who chooses Bulbasaur, for instance, is more likely to have a Pidgey, where a person who chooses Charmander is less likely to have a Pidgey. Even more so, with the fact that like I don't know about you, but I don't like to like double up on types very often when I have my team of 6.
Mechanic build.
I'm
Enjoy your mechanics.
I know. So if I have Charizard, which is already a flying type, then I'm less likely, I think, to also have a Pidgeot. Unless obviously the point is to have 6 Pokemon of that each share a type. But and then I think if you pick Squirtle, I don't know that necessarily you're taking anyone with you, because I think you're kind of cruising through Viridian Forest and you're cruising through Brock, and I don't think you pick up anyone if you choose Squirtle for like a while. So I don't know. I just feel like, and again, this is all hypothetical and everyone can choose their favorites. Like maybe by the time you get to Brock, you've got Rattata and Pidgey and Caterpie and Pikachu and a Nidoran or whatever and your starter, regardless of which starter you chose. You just got like maxed out a full team of 6. But I don't know. I just think like the starter you choose just fully shapes the rest of your team. Whether you're planning your team ahead of time or not, like as you go, even if you're just like, I'm just going to add to my team whoever I feel like, you're probably going to add, you're more likely, I think, to add Pokemon that shore up the weaknesses of the Pokemon that you're already using. So again, that leads, again, if you choose Bulbasaur, you're more likely to take maybe Pidgey with you or something. So that's kind of my idea, I think, with making the starters their own part of this, making them the trunk, is because they shape and inform the way that the rest of your tree is going to grow.
And your team your team is not in a vacuum either, because what you made me think of, and I like this dichotomy that we're throwing on too. I think a YouTube comment that I got once, I've told you about before, but it reworked, maybe reworked my entire brain chemistry when it comes to Pokemon. Was somebody who, I don't know, watched a video that was not, it was about this was about the clock in Gen 3. Somebody commented, "Why do you have strength on Chansey?" And I said, "Damn, why not have strength on Chansey?" I got all defensive about it, and that save was not done, but that save ended up being the type like distribution on that team was abysmal. It was Charizard, Pidgeot, Porygon 2, Chansey, I think, I don't know, maybe Weezing just for fun in the end. But like, I think so 3 normal types and 2 flying types, all on the same team. And I was like, vindictively at first, it was just like, just because jackass, like Chansey has strength so I can push boulders. Okay. That's what Chansey's job is right now. It's as simple as that. But even within this, like, I don't know, it's like, okay, like just like the complete opposite of what you said, given to nonsense, the team is still not a vacuum. And I was like picking, I don't know, there maybe wasn't like a vision, but like Charizard was always on that team. And even though Pidgeot came along, like you said, it was still at the very least, it was informing to the experience that I ended up having. Like, I don't know, kind of being a more nonsensical one, but like choices were created through that. And I mean, the root of all choices, like you're saying, is the Charmander, regardless. Like, it just, by advent of existing first, it has to inform everything. And even if it's like, I don't know, like it's like are being silly, or it's like in some of the, like you see it in speedruns sometimes. Also, sometimes people just do it. It's like, I'm going to toss my starter on the other side of things. It's like, in that game, I don't care if you toss your starter, Gary or Blue or whatever is always going to have Blastoise anyways. You chose Gary to have Blastoise. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter that your starter is technically Pikachu now, like that you say so. Well, I mean, I get it. That's pretty awesome because you're going up against Blastoise. But and I think even, especially even more so now, starter, I mean, it affects quite a lot in the game of I mean, one of my favorite details of all time is that in Gen 7, your starter choice not only informs How's starter, but it informs the type that Sylveon uses or Silvally uses when you fight Gladion. And
that's very cool.
Gladion, in some ways, is the real rival in that game. People stop giving How. People give How a break challenge, level impossible. Gladion, but like I don't know. It shows up in surprising ways. I guess in like locked into the game, you cannot escape this choice. Is and that's like. That's another, I don't know, Pokemon thing. They really went above and beyond with stuff like that. I mean, usually it's as simple as rival. Every battle has the type corresponding to whatever you picked. But I don't know. Can you think of it? The Gladion is, I think, kind of the best. I know that there's other stuff that your starter informs, but that's kind of the Gladion, like sneaking in there is kind of the best I've got. But it's still like, that is a boss regardless. That is a boss fight regardless. And they're all boss fights that are different now because of the thing that you did, even if you abandon that choice for better or for worse.
Yeah, I mean, I think of the rival who becomes the champion in Kanto in particular, I think, because like based on your starter choice, they will have the starter who is strong against yours, but that also means that there are basically 3 interchangeable other Pokemon that are also grass, fire, water that the champion will have 2 out of 3 of those. And then instead of the third one, will instead have the starter that is strong against your starter. So depending on the starter that you choose, say if you choose Charmander, that means that the champion is going to have Blastoise, which means that the champion is not going to have Gyarados. And if that's like, I don't know, maybe that informs, like maybe you can handle a Blastoise with your grass type. Maybe you would really like to have an electric type for that Gyarados or something. You know what I mean? And this would go into like doing your research beforehand, assuming you haven't.
Gyarados is coming one way or another, and it wasn't in the other version of that game. You're buckle up, you're fighting Gyarados, regardless of whether or not you read the guidebook before this.
Right. Yeah. If you didn't choose Charmander, if you chose one of the other 2, then yes, there will be a Gyarados there where, again, I don't know. It's just, like, it isn't just the starters that, and I really liked in Gen 5 when both Charon and Bianca ended up taking the other 2 starters that you didn't choose or that you don't choose.
Yeah, that's peak. Like it's peak for sure.
That's because that's the first time in the series that they start, like, all of the starters start basically being spoken for, and then you just have one rival who you have an advantage against, and then one rival who supposedly is supposed to be maybe your true rival, I guess. Like in Gen 6, it is, I think, Shauna and then either Calum or Serena, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, so you have maybe a more, like, I don't know, lighthearted, easygoing character who takes the starter that you are strong against, and then your more serious, maybe again, more like true rival who takes a starter that is strong against you. And that, I like that choice a lot by them, because like mechanically it also sets up how these characters like approach Pokemon themselves in universe.
Yeah, and then, it makes character like there were character implications in that too, that are like far reaching,
and
beyond mechanics even.
And they mirror the way that people have played Pokemon games forever. It's just like some people are there to play optimally, and some people are there to use their favorites. And so I like that some of these characters kind of mirror that.
I thought that what you said, the example of Blue specifically, because Blue is such an interesting character as like a character, because like art wise, like who is Blue's squad? Like in your mind,
right? What's
the image of Blue?
Right. Like his team, I think when he's the gym leader in Gen 2 is more kind of like the team that I think of, but that team doesn't include any starters. And so, yeah, at least like in the Kanto games, his team is pretty like interchangeable. He has some mainstays, at least for like the like round 2 rematch, for instance, in Fire Leaf Green is the one that I think I know the best. He has Heracross, Alakazam, and Tyranitar. And then the other 3 slots are the like Grass, Fire, Water. And again, those can change depending on the starter. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, those first 3 that I listed feel more like they're part of his squad, even if I don't know if they're even on his team when he's the 8th gym leader. But then maybe actually, now that I think about it, the interchangeable Grass, Fire, Water might all be on his team. I think they're Executor, Arcanine, and Gyarados. And they might all be on his team when he's the 8th gym leader in Kanto in the Johto games.
I think that is true. Yeah.
And then he would have, I think he opens with like a Pidgeot.
It's got a Pidgeot for sure.
Maybe a Rhydon, I feel like he has, because he has Rhydon.
Big time Rhydon.
The first time in Fire Red Leaf Green, you fight him, he has a Rhydon, and then he replaces it, I think, with Tyranitar for round 2.
And I mean, then there's also like the question of canon and why we're, I guess, even talking about this, even though it's like this is we're on such a long branch here, but it's like you just informed canon, but because like my game is canon, it is a canon at least, and you just informed canon, and Blue is this like, I mean, in the context of Pokemon, I would call Blue larger than life. Like I fully think that Blue is Blue. There's Blue is very, very blue, and yeah, I'm looking at it. Executor, Arcanine, Gyarados, the Fire, Water, Grass core. And then Machamp in some iterations is
interesting.
Is the further one.
Okay.
But right, it changes, and in those champion fights, the starter is there, and you inform that choice. So now I have this relationship further, I don't know, created, like you created that, and that's part of canon. That is part of my canon, at least.
But then this is just like Blue, the boss battle in the games. Blue as a character, I think, like even like Gary Oak, I think like that guy has a Blastoise always. His name is Blue.
Well, I don't think like Blue always has a Charizard to me because
of the manga.
Well, because of the manga, and then because I just like I got through the game on Venusaur. Well, I think I have gotten through the game the most times on Venusaur, and like the clean. And yeah, but in the manga, it's like, and I always think it's like, oh, manga's canon. For me, it's like starters and I guess teams are like manga canon to me usually. Like Gold's manga team is very, very important to me specifically, and that is not at all reflective. Gold is a very different character in the games, or is like made out to be like just a tiny bit edgy in the games, and then very, very edgy in. I mean, as edgy as a 10-year-old can be, but like, I mean, he has a Pokemon with a gambling addiction. Like, it's relatively edgy. Just by the way,
hell yeah.
I just changed a character. Like, that is, I guess, a point that I just really think bears repeating. I mean, certain games certainly do this. Like, I can think of like, not even like RPG. Like, I can think of like, I know there's this sort of Mega Man-ish game called Azure Striker Gunvolt. That have you heard of this game?
Yeah.
Badass game. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, it's great so game. Good. But you can do kind of a similar thing, even though it's like a run and gun Mega Man platformer thing, where you like inform character builds, and like you also inform the way that the characters do stuff. This is not unique to Pokemon, but it's still like I don't know, the power that is contained in. I made a choice, and it changed the canon of what I understand other characters to be. And so, like, I mean, just like you just said, my Blue has Charizard, your Blue has Blastoise. That's crazy. That's wild to me. I love that. I love that we have, because that makes Blue a different guy in both cases. Like, Blastoise and Charizard do very different things and have completely different vibes. So, yeah, that's so cool.
It reshapes his whole team because of it. So
yeah, we're leaning into the next point, I think. Like we're already there. We're already there. I mean, because then the rest of the team, starter, other Pokemon. I mean, it is just like we're like in like the exponential growth territory now. These are the branches, but like how many? If you could like ballpark it, how many teams do you think there are in Pokemon? Like how many teams could there be?
Billions.
I almost feel like it's like an atomic level of possible teams.
Is this assuming that you can't use the same Pokemon multiple times?
No. Why would that be?
Okay.
I don't know. I've got the
if
Team
I wanted to have
Typhlosion
6 Lantern, I could.
Yeah, I've got Team Typhlosion and 5 Pidgeys. Like that's a classic.
Right.
So what's wrong
How could
with
I
that?
Forget? Yeah, that's kind of the amazing thing, isn't it? And you get so much ownership over your team, your squad. I'm such a big Droomish, you know this about me. I'm such a big proponent of the team of 6.
Oh yeah, the squad.
It's like kind of what like Pokemon like revolves around for me. Again, it's like for replays, it's the thing that I like think about going in at this point. Not if I'm, well, that's not even true. Before I played ZA, I had my team of 6 in my head already, like excited to go into ZA. Like, I guess it's different because ZA didn't add any brand new species. So like I went into Scarlet with like whatever I see that I vibe with, I'm gonna pick up and use. But ZA, I guess, having like all returning Pokemon, yeah, I had a team because I had like a rough idea of kind of what to expect, and then I was like, yeah, it's gonna be 6 fighting types, and I can't wait. So yeah, I'm a huge proponent and fan of the team of 6, even in games where it is easier to have more than 6 because of the PC box that goes with you and the team-wide experience share. I still stick to a team of 6 usually.
I love a team of 6. God, I love a good team of 6. Like, it's just, I don't know why it's 6. I love 6. It's good stuff. And I don't do hardly as much planning, I think, as that. But like, obviously, I do think about it. Obviously, like it's a big choice too, especially in those games where it's like you lock in and you lock in. Like I think like Fire Red and Leaf Green are very much that way for me. And it's like why is like people always call them like the easier ones of like that like harder time period. But it was always hard for me because I was constantly changing. And I was like, well, Farfetch is pretty cool, but like I have Wheezing now, and that's like I want that experience. So I mean, like the teams aren't even so like I mean, but to that is like teams aren't even linear structures either. Like because like you said, like the team that is technically like how do you have a team that's greater than 6? Well, it's like okay, well like I'm playing an EXP share game, and it is really easy to rebuild a team. 4 badges in, new team. I'm like we're going back to the drawing board, and that was one of my favorite things about. I mean, this is we're so in the weeds of like things that I enjoy. But in Sword and Shield, a big part of Hop's character is that he is like experimenting. He does not know what is going wrong with him, but he makes a big point about it when he talks to you. Is like, I'm just going to keep trying different things. I'm going to figure this out. Yeah. And there are, I think, 3 points in the game because he's like had this team that he's been working with for a little while, and he's like, damn, my life sucks. It's time for a new team. And then he like shows up, and I was just stunned because he like brought attention as like, I don't think this is going very well. And the next time you fight him, he's got like I specifically remember it's like, why do you have a Pincurchin now, Hop? And it's just like he's like, I'm just trying stuff and seeing what'll stick because I don't really know what I'm doing as a trainer. I want to figure out this team thing. And
yeah, he's literally and he's like mechanically finding himself.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. God, I think Hop is such an overwhelmingly underappreciated character when like he was narratively threaded to a damn T. Like he was like this hyper specific character writing of like doing stuff like that. Anyway, he get like a bunch of different teams, but like I love that. I love And also like I'm having that experience myself of someone's going on the bench. That's what I usually do, is like two Pokemon will go on the bench at most, and then somebody gets rotated in, even though they've been like mainstays or something. I'm just like, I don't know, I kind of want to change. And I think I may have gotten that idea from Ash's run on the anime as well. There is plenty of benching that occurs. And I think that's just like, I don't know, especially if you're like, gotta catch them all moding. Like, yeah, I want to see this world with this guy a little bit. I want to see a world with her a little bit. Like,
Totally.
That's very, very much a focus for me. And like I've said before, like it bums me out in the older games where it's like, well, I'm going to have a very, very bad time if super awesome Charizard that is super awesome because it's been with me the entire time goes on the bench. So yeah, I'm even though I'm having buyer's remorse about Charizard, my game is about to be much less fun, less fun if I decide to start using Magmar now instead. So, I mean, I don't know if it would be constructive to describe everything, but the branches that we have attached them to, there are many different teams. There are many different ways to do teams. And I think that is kind of when the team is when we reach the point of the world, like the like, I don't know, I'm going to call them like convergent realities even. Like I would wager we are fully playing different games at the points that we described it, of like, oh, I like me describing this, I like doing my bench thing, and you like your kind of crafting process also. We are fully in different worlds. And that is like both true and fine and, I don't know, amazing kind of, but like I do not think that we're playing the same game anymore. Like we're like, even like we have the same cartridge in our hands, and I don't know, in my artistic philosophy of what the game is, we are in different worlds now.
I think too, like even if I'm not like pushing the buttons on a Game Boy, but I'm like thinking, like I'm maybe like driving, or like I got some downtime at work or whatever, I got like 5 minutes to like theory craft like a team that I want to use. Like I've been thinking about this like all bug flying team for Pokemon Platinum for like years now. You know what I mean?
All bug flying?
Specifically all bug flying. Okay, so here's the squad. You ready for the squad? Okay, so we got Beautiful.
Lay it on me.
We got Vespiquen. We got Yan Mega. Isn't that cool? Yan Mega. Who else? Mothim and Scyther. There's 5 bug flying Pokemon that you can catch pretty early in Platinum. So then there is room for one more on that team that maybe wouldn't be bug flying, but maybe for necessity it might have to be Barrel for surf and stuff. But still, there's 5 specifically bug and flying Pokemon. And I've thought about that team and what it would be like to play through Platinum with that team literally for years.
That's like a special version of Platinum. That is a Platinum I can never hope to imagine. I don't know, I don't want to just say the unique. That's like a miracle playthrough of Platinum almost, of like you are doing things that no one has ever fathomed before. All flying bugs. Yeah.
I think, I don't know, people are doing monotype teams still, and there's a lot of like overlap in like the team composition for monotype, especially when you're in a game that maybe has a more limited pool of Pokemon. Some games, depending on the game and the type that you choose, like sometimes you are actually limited to like 6 or less. So then every monotype playthrough of that team is going to be the same until we start getting into even the details and the minutia of the Pokemon themselves, and how differently like each of the Pokemon that you choose to add to your team, like, and we don't need to get into like every single thing about this, but like this is where like
is pretty self-explanatory.
Like branches on branches, and like eventually like the leaves.
These are the leaves.
These are the leaves.
I mean, my Pikachu is not your Pikachu, and I think that's kind of like that. It is what it is. Like there's moves, abilities. Let's just customization for Pokemon.
Every branch has hundreds of leaves, and this is all the differences that make every Pokemon unique and special. And that's where it ultimately comes down to like, yeah, no two games are the same.
I mean, and it goes beyond like they frequently like an NPC will like harp on like, oh, like, and it's like they're like talking about like IVs and natures and stuff. It's like your Pikachu is different than my Pikachu, but like I think and this is another piece. It's not unique to Pokemon. The thing that is unique is how all these pieces are here, but like the same Pokemon can have like different RPG roles, and that's like the big difference between them. Like I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example of like something that can be either a tank or a slugger. Like I don't know if like Slowbro is coming to mind as something that could be like completely wall, or like in a playthrough, Slowbro is gonna be like my swinging guy. Like it could be, sure.
Yeah.
But also it's like, I don't know, it could be like a regenerator tank or something.
Or even like it could be a physical attacker or a special attacker like a Lucario.
Oh, Lucario's a way better example of like, I don't know, like Lucario can be a booster, Lucario can be like, I don't know, a choice sweeper if you want it to be. I guess these are like minute things, but they can take on like, I don't know, this is like on top of everything else, we have D&D multiclassing thrown in here as well. Like it makes just as much sense for Lucario to be a mage as it does for it to be a fighter, and that's really crazy. That's kind of the extent of this, though. I don't want this to be like a nothing point, but it's like, I don't know. Just
I thought of something, if I may.
If you may, okay.
It's interesting with Pokemon that when your Pokemon levels up and it learns a new move, you then have to choose.
You're so right.
If it learns it, and then also what of its existing moves you're going to get rid of for that new move.
That's actually, that common in RPGs? Do you know?
I just played through Dragon Quest, and as my guys leveled and they got new skills and magic and stuff, whatever became the best spell is just what I started using because it did the most damage. And so I wasn't using any of the previous spells and stuff in the list. Well, I don't know, there's some edge cases, but like for the most part, I'm just using, if I get the new hotness, I'm going to use the new hotness. Pokemon is the moves in it that basically function as if they're like skills or spells or whatever. It forces you to choose, and it forces you to also limit what each of your Pokemon is capable of, where if it didn't have that limit, if every Lucario had access to everything that it could do, I just feel like you would just end up with a less rich like experience, like between playthroughs yourself or like with friends or whatever.
Through arbitrariness. This is
right.
An extremely good point.
Because everyone is just going to use the best version of Lucario rather than like your version of Lucario. So yeah, I'm for the first time in my life appreciating the fact that Pokemon are limited to 4 moves.
It's a good fact. It's a good part of the game, because I can think of RPG, like I want to say, you don't have to lose your moves in most RPGs, right? Like
I just feel like it becomes like a list that keeps growing as you level.
Yeah.
And you have access to everything
Final
previously.
Fantasy.
Right.
The Final Fantasy games I've played, it's like, like you still have fire. I guess you can like, there are maybe like shades of this, like Materia sort of work this way. But like as far as your spells, like you've got fire 2, you've got fire 3, like, and then I guess there's like a cost assessment to do. Like Fire 3 costs 3 times as much as Fire 1, but
of course,
who cares? I'm using Fire 3.
Exactly, because you likely have the mana.
I have the mana. I'm not mana oppressed like some people. This is good. 4 move slot syndrome. Maybe it's not a syndrome at all. Maybe it's why Pokemon are beautiful.
Yeah, maybe it's a feature. So Pokemon is like trees.
It's like the world tree, even.
Pokemon is like Yggdrasil for sure.
Do you want even better? It's everyone has their own Yggdrasil. Everyone has their own tree.
That's good.
we all, and I mean, just think of, I mean, the difference between any two trees, and we all have our own tree. But not in like, I don't know, like a Minecraft tree way, in like a real world redwood tree way. So
yeah.
I guess the thesis and closing paragraph to this is that my Pokemon is not your Pokemon, and that's great. This is why, and it's not because one is better or worse. It's just, I don't know. We have kind of a miracle combination of features and choices all converging in one RPG that makes like a character collector so rich. And I kind of think that this is maybe I'm going to say maybe, but this might be the core reason why Pokemon is good. Like why Pokemon is Pokemon. Like why Pokemon is what it is.
Like why it succeeds?
Yeah, like why Pokemon became Pokemon. This could be why.
I think, yeah. I think like without a doubt, yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, and this has been communicated as like one of the original design influences of like, it was a little more ambitious at first, but they wanted everyone's Pokemon to be their own Pokemon. Like they wanted game cartridges to be unique entities. And that didn't work out, but it ultimately was like, I've got blue version, you've got red version. But then only then do the trees begin to grow. And what a wonderful analogy that you have cooked up. And I guess treasure also that your Pokemon is just your Pokemon. Like, I know that's something that gets me about this every time. Like we even like touch on it. I'm like, wow, I do have something that is just for me. And it is the series of arbitrary choices that I have made over a very long time. And so it's like, oh, like no two people are the same way, but it's like, this is so quantifiable. And I'm like, whoa, the Pokemon is a lot like the human experience. Like they should make that for real. But
I really appreciate the credits of the Gen 3 games. As you're biking home, there are these sequences where it will flash the sprites of the Pokemon that you've like met along your journey or whatever.
It's not always the same. It's very, very rich credits. I agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think, I don't know, look behind the curtain. I'm pretty sure it's just choosing whatever Pokemon you have listed as obtained in your Pokedex. But like,
that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a great choice because it's so fun. Like you beat a Gen 3 game for the first time. You watch those credits because it's going to show you all of the guys that you met along the way. And this is important, the very last guy that they show is your starter because that's where it all began. It's so poetic.
A credits reel just for you.
It is exactly. It is just for you. And that's the point.
And here's the credits roll just for you because that's all the time we got for you on Petalburg Woods. We made it.
That was good. +2.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping you would let me do that. Next time we'll talk about more Pokemon, surely.
Yep, probably.
I hope it is the mobile game episode, but it's not gonna be. Let's be real. It might happen someday.
I think we have one more episode for you this year.
Yeah.
At least. Until
then, you can find us outside of the forest as well. I'm on YouTube, famously. And we're both streaming on Twitch at Droomish_ and at Capreo_. Please let us know what you thought of the show by leaving a review. And if you're on YouTube, I want you to like, subscribe, comment. This was awesome. We're so awesome. What a great episode. Comment that verbatim, and I will know that you are a real watcher and a real gamer. As always, leave your repels at home, and I'll see you next time on the Petalburg Woods. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
Petalburg Woods is hosted by Droomish and Capreo and produced by Girl Luigi. The theme music is by Capreo, and additional artwork is by Mo Paint Stuff. Let us know where you'd like to visit in the Pokemon Universe next, and email us at petalburgpod@gmail.com. Until next time, leave your repels at home, and we'll see you in the Petalburg Woods.